One of the sneakiest lies of worry is that it convinces us that we're preparing for the future when in reality we are actually sabotaging the present. Worry feels like action. I'm doing something. We rehearse possible future outcomes. We imagine future scenarios. We strategize for disasters that have not yet occurred. But instead of preparing us, worry often paralyzes us. What you fear about tomorrow shapes how you live today. Jesus pointed this out directly in Matthew 6:34. Do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. Worry is essentially misplaced worship. It takes the energy, the time, and the creativity God gives us to walk faithfully today and redirects them toward imagined tomorrows. The irony is that those tomorrows rarely materialize as we expect. You spend today solving problems that never arrive while neglecting the opportunities that God put before you right now. Think of the parent who worries excessively about their child's future. They spend so much time fretting over college or career outcomes that they fail to enjoy and shepherd their child in the season that they're actually in. Or the employee who is constantly anxious about job loss. Instead of working diligently today as unto the Lord, they waste hours scanning job boards, replaying conversations, and reading signals in every email from their boss. Fear of tomorrow steals faithfulness today. Worry also distorts decision making. If your functional question becomes, how do I avoid the worst case scenario? You will make choices driven by self-protection rather than trust. You may avoid risk that God actually wants you to take. You may refuse generosity, fearing you won't have enough later. You may decline ministry opportunities, fearing you won't have time for yourself. In every case, worry shrinks obedience. So how do you break free from this cycle? Jesus gave us the antidote. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of these things will be added to you. In other words, focus on what God has put in front of you today. Do the next faithful thing. Leave the unknowns in the hands of the one who already occupies every tomorrow. A helpful diagnostic question is this: if I weren't afraid of the future, what would faithfulness look like today? That question forces you to locate your worry, expose its control over you, and realign with God's priorities. Sometimes it may mean simply being present with your spouse instead of scanning tomorrow's budget. At other times, it may mean saying yes to service when your fears want you to withdraw. Worry is not neutral. It is not harmless. It's not harmless background noise. It actively determines your daily choices. That's why Jesus tells us not to just stop worrying, but to replace it with seeking. When your gaze is fixed on his kingdom, you're free to give yourself wholly to today, trusting the future to the God who never fails.